Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Inter Miami CF3, LAFC 1, 3-2 on aggregate in the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinal leg 2. Inter Miami win. They get the 3 goals they need. They make it harder on themselves to start the match, but they find the 3 goals. They hold LAFC to 1. Miami advance to the semifinals, and they'll play the winner of Pumas Vancouver, which we will find out over the next 2 hours. Not live on my stream, but if you're watching, you're watching. I'm watching too as I'm doing this video. But we'll find out, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. No, Friday. No, there's stuff tomorrow that isn't CONCACAF recap. No, that's Friday. My bad. We'll talk about it Friday. Thursday, we got some stuff to deal with. Even if it was just the Chelsea game, I think I would have left it and moved it to Friday, the CONCACAF recap. But Miami's through. They are through. And was it pretty? No. Did they kind of get screwed a couple of times by the refs? I say yes. Ironically enough, I feel like the refs were actually fair to LAFC. They honestly blew it. They called a stonewall penalty that was a penalty. Ironically, that's how Miami finished the comeback, but it was a penalty. But the refs were actually fair. An offside goal that was barely offside, I think Suarez was barely on, was right there. You could have let it stand or not. They say no. Messi shoots a goal early off of a free kick. Fools LAFC. Takes a quick free kick. They don't allow it to be a goal. And you look at it, you're like, damn, really? Fair game. It was actually a very fair tie by the refs. Inter Miami CF 3, LAFC 1, 3-0 global. La Concachampions de la CONCACAF. Corto Stefanao partido vuelta. Inter Miami avanzar de las semifinales contra Pumas o Vancouver. Miami avanzar. Ganar esta noche. Miami gets the win, and I say deservedly so. And frankly, they were the better team tonight besides the goal against. 10 minutes in, Aaron Long scores. Horrible defensive mistake by Miami. Delgado plays it high, falls around the box. Aaron Long's right there to score the goal. It bounces around the box. He pops it in. Pass to Stadi. 0-1. 0-2 on aggregate. 0-1 esta noche. 0-2 global. Miami loses the even advantage, as in LAFC has the away goal. Goals visitar para LAFC. That would matter. 35th minute, Lionel Messi scores to at least get one back before the half. Slaloms through defenders, takes a banger of a shot past Lloris. 1-1. 1-2 on aggregate. 1-1 esta noche. 1-2 global. He does get his. Little bit after that quick free kick, he does get a goal that will count. Halftime 1-1. 1-2 on aggregate. 1-1 esta noche. 1-2 global. LAFC. Goals visitar para LAFC. LAFC leads at the half on aggregate. And you think, okay, interesting, but can Miami wake up? But the first half, after the goal against, Miami were the better team. Miami had them on lockdown. They were putting them up against a blitzkrieg of shots. Some crazy shots, too. They were taking some big, crazy shots to take chances at going at the net, and they took their chances. It was a blitzkrieg for Miami, and they figured it out. Well, they at least got one. But after that first goal, Miami were like, okay, we got to score 3. Okay, we'll go for it. They were going for it. They were the better team throughout the first half besides the mistake. There were moments where they were shaky defensively, especially after they fully came back and took the lead. But when they figured it out, they figured it out. They got the goals they needed. They got one before the half. And then, 61st minute, Noah Allen scores. It's not an own goal, and it's not a Redondo goal either. Ball's chipped over the top to a point where it could go off the head of Redondo, but it bounces just past him and into the net because Ryan Hollingshead slides and puts it past the line. So technically, It's an own goal, but that's not how CONCACAF put it, at least by the time I made this video. So there you go. It is a Noah Allen goal. A big old chip by Noah Allen, pretty much. 61st minute, 2-1. 2-2 on aggregate. Away goals to LAFC. 2-1 esta noche. 2-2 global. Goals visitar para LAFC. But in the end, there's a header a couple of minutes later by Suarez that's offside, which I don't think was offside. I think Miami actually got jobbed there, to be honest. I think the referees were a little bit too harsh. Was Suarez maybe dipping a shoulder offside? Maybe, but if you look farther down, whether it was in line with that defender or the defender behind, I think he was on line. I think he was on. I think he was onside. I think it was a bad call by the referees that make Miami still be down a goal and LAFC still have the away goals. But the 84th minute, they get one back. Handball by LAFC off the shoulder. They go to the monitor. They have to give the goal. It's a goal against, or it's a handball against. They have to give the handball. And it's a penalty for Miami. Lionel Messi, of course, he's the one to step up to take it. He's already beaten Hugo Lloris before. Lloris could get some personal revenge if he saves this. And he doesn't. Panenka Messi scores the goal. 84th minute penalty goal. 3-1. 3-1 esta noche. 3-2 global. 3-2 on aggregate. Miami have the lead. They have to hold on for, by the time they kick off, 5 minutes of regular time and 6 minutes of stoppage time. So 9 minutes, 10 minutes. They have to hold on to keep the lead, and they do. Yes, Miami gets in behind a couple of times. Some very big defensive mistakes. Luckily, Ustadi steps up and makes some big saves on Bouanga to make sure that it stays 3-1. And in the end, Miami gets it done. They also screwed up a 2-on-1 odd man rush. They did. They could have put the game away no matter if LAFC got one back. They did not get that odd man rush. They screwed up themselves. Full time, 3-1. 3-1 esta noche. 3-2 on aggregate. 3-2 global. And Miami gets the win. Miami gets the win. They will advance to the semifinals, and honestly, they deserve it. LAFC collapsed. LAFC collapsed. Miami were the team that pushed for it. Yes, Miami made some bad defensive mistakes, but in the end, they got the goals they needed. They got what they needed. And that's about it for them. Full-time stats are as follows. 21 shots to 13, 9 shots on goal to 8, 60% possession to 40% possession, 522 passes to 343, 85% pass accuracy to 78% pass accuracy, 16 fouls to 12, 2 offside to 1, 2 yellow cards 3, 0 red cards 0, 9 corners to 10. Miami were the better team. And frankly, they earned coming back. It wasn't handed to them. Like, they earned this. They earned this comeback. They figured it out. Because let's be real. I think we all expected Miami's comeback to be handed to them. To the contrary. To the contrary. It wasn't. The referees were honestly fair. I won't say they were against them, but the offside goal, you would think Miami would get that early, quick free kick. I'm surprised that didn't happen. Also, the first game, Ordaz was not sent off, and that almost ruined Miami's chances in this final, or this quarterfinal. So in the end, the referees were actually very fair towards LAFC throughout both legs. And you could say, well, LAFC is probably the one team out of MLS that CONCACAF would be fine beating Miami. If they were to lose to somebody out of MLS, it would be LAFC, and they're probably fine with it. You might be right. But Messi's still Messi. You could say, but America didn't get helped by the refs last night against Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul won pretty fair and square. And it was fair the first leg as well. Fair enough. But I guarantee you CONCACAF probably wanted a Miami-America final. And they lost half of that last night, so maybe that kind of played into their decision. But it was pretty fair. It was pretty fair, both legs, refereeing-wise. I thought Miami could have got a little bit more. Yes, the penalty was a penalty. Let's just be clear. You can't say it wasn't. That's a pen. That's a handball. It's a handball. So you can't say Miami screwed LAFC. Now you could say, but the final goal was on a handball penalty. Of course they give a penalty to Messi to shut it down. Fair enough, but it was actually a penalty, so do with that what you will. Miami was the better team. Yeah, they made some mistakes early on that made it harder for them to come back. And then in the end, they almost blew it by themselves, letting Bouanga get in behind twice, but Ustadi made both saves. Miami got the job done. They came back. They made it harder on themselves and still came back completely. And they're going on to the semifinals. So their reason you suck speech, well, even if they make the final, I can't really go too hard on Miami if they make the final and lose. A little bit more if they're at home. But on paper, they're better than everybody else left, to be honest. A Cruz Azul that's stingy at the back, especially at home, they're better than Cruz Azul. They're better than Tigres. They're better than Pumas or Vancouver. Vancouver might be the hardest thing left for them to take, to be real. If you're a Miami fan, you probably want Pumas. Honestly, if I go 50-50 on my predictions, I'm fine with that. For obvious reasons. I'm okay with Pumas going through and Miami getting them because I think that'll be easier for Miami. Vancouver might be tough. If LAFC was tough, Vancouver might be tough for Miami. But in the end, they still should win, but on paper. But, yeah, LAFC got blown it. LAFC blew it. Let's just be real. They blew it. They collapsed. Sharundalo blew it again. This time, and just like the second leg against Columbus, they blew it. But luckily, last time, they got through. This time, they did not. They allowed all 3 goals. And the goal they scored didn't help them this time. Columbus almost did it to them. Miami did. Sharundalo bottled it. Again. As you would know. Bouanga almost saved his ass a couple of times. That's why you don't let Aaron Long score, but LAFC are out. That's what you do. If you're Miami, you got the job done. Move on. They'll be back in Champions Cup at the later end of the month. And LAFC has MLS left. So, we'll see how that goes. But Miami got the job done. Man of the match, Messi. 2 goals. Got him the last goal they needed to advance. Of course, Messi's man of the match. So, Miami's advanced. They're going to play Pumas Vancouver. They were the better team for most of the match because they were chasing the game, but also they probably should have scored more than 3 goals. Probably shouldn't have been a nail-biter all the way. They made one mistake that cost them, and luckily 2 big saves by Ustadi after Bouanga got in behind. Yeah, I think Miami got the job done, and they were the better team. They should have advanced, and they did advance, luckily. And we also don't have to see CONCACAF take away the away goals because Miami lost on away goals. Because you know damn well if it was 2-1 and Miami lost on away goals wouldn't be a thing next year. You know damn well that would happen. With that being said, Miami are through. Congratulations, Felicidades Miami. Commiserations, LAFC. Get out! Miami, you move on. Let's see who you play. Right now it looks like Pumas as I finish the video, but very early. With that being said, If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow, 11:45, 11:40 in the morning, Central, 12:40 Eastern, for the Legia Warsaw-Chelsea Conference League game live, and we'll review it once it's over. And then, of course, 6 o'clock, we will be live for the Gold Cup draw and review the Gold Cup draw once that's over as well. So 2 lives, 2 reviews tomorrow. We're busy. Awesome. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.